welcome to another episode of the Dragonball Z Legendary Super Warriors Let's Play. This time it is part Ex1. Super Saiyan Trunks versus Androids 17 and 18. Okay, so let the battle begin. This is a tag team battle, however in the normal story mode you only get to use Trunks here because obviously everyone else is dead at that point in the story, so you can't possibly use them. So you have to basically pick Trunks. You could go for his base form, but you'd have lower stats, so I wouldn't really recommend that. Okay, so in this battle I would recommend a particular card which is called Stop Device. It costs a fair bit of CC, I'll show you that later, and also the one useful thing it can do is it can destroy androids in a single shot if it hits. It should hit, but to make sure it hits, you have to be as close as possible, so that's directly one square in front of the enemy, the closest you can move, and you have to make sure they don't move during their turn, otherwise it'll mess things up. Of course, one thing you can do is wait for them to move, so then they're probably not going to move again the next turn, so then as soon as they move, then you try and use it. But again, it's not perfect and it can sometimes miss, and when it misses, you've wasted a lot of CC that you could have really used for like some strong attacks. So it's definitely a bit of a risky strategy. Also, it only works against the androids, and by that I mean androids 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. It won't work for Cell because he is mostly organic, so you're going to have to be quite careful about when you use it. Probably the best time to put it in your deck is when you move on to the Android Saga in story mode. And of course you don't get the Stop Device card until you actually start doing the EX missions. And other than that, it's quite a rare card in itself, so you may not be able to have 2 or 3 in your deck. However, if you do, it would be very useful to use it in the Android Saga, as you will be fighting a lot of androids and it could basically make the whole saga much quicker. You can also give it to weak characters as well, so you can level them up quite quickly in story mode with the Stop Device, using those on the androids of course. You could use Deborah as well, but that's got a much lower accuracy rating. Okay, so I am above a destroyed city. In the previous scene you can actually walk about and you can talk to some survivors, and there's a few items here and there to pick up. As well as that, a few interesting things about the dialogue in this game, using an American script. When Trunks goes home he says, "Hi Mom." Obviously Mom is short for mother, but in England we would normally say Mum, M-U-M. Some interesting language differences here and there. Okay, so at the moment I'm doing okay. I've got less health than 17, but I'm saving up some CC for some big attacks. For example, I'm going to use the Finish Buster move, which is pretty powerful. This can be used by Super Saiyan Trunks and also Super Saiyan Kid Trunks, so it's pretty powerful. Okay, so that's done quite a lot of damage, so 17 is up to about 35% health, so that's looking pretty good so far. So hopefully I will be able to beat him. I'm going to move a bit closer. He is using the 4-stage attack, so I'm just going to wait and prepare. It's quite interesting the personality differences between the androids 17 and 18 from Trunks' time and the ones you meet on in the actual timeline on the show, which is when android 16 is with them as well. Maybe that makes them more peaceful, maybe it makes them less likely to kill everyone. 17 and 18 behave a lot more naturally compared to 16 and the other two androids 19 and 20. Okay, so moving on, it is turn number 6, and I'm in the defense phase, so let's see what I can do. I could heal myself, in fact that's probably a good idea. 17 will no doubt use some strong attacks next. In my opinion, it would be a bad idea to use the Stop Device if your opponent is already quite damaged anyway, as if it misses then you've wasted a lot of CC, whereas if you can use a few small attacks, you've got more of a chance of hitting him. Okay, so I've got a few things to finish him off with. going back to my strategy, my idea is to get lots of CC, and then as soon as the stop device card comes, I can use that. Annoyingly, Android 17 has managed to avoid my beam attack, so he's not dead yet. But I've still got some CC left, so I'm going to try and bide my time and get a bit stronger so I can beat him. The story mode gets slightly easier after the Android Saga, although there's still a few tricky battles here and there between the Android Saga and the Boo Saga. I've still got quite a lot of health left, probably about 60% or so pretty good so far. Let's see what I've got in the item slot. Championship belt, that can be useful, but 17 is almost dead and 18 doesn't really use a lot of physical attacks, so it's probably best if I just save that and not use that for this particular battle. Okay, now it is my turn to defend, and let's have a look at the cards. Not much, I'm just going to guard at the moment in case he does something. Yep, he's done a crazy rush, so I'll probably do quite a bit of damage. Hopefully I'll be able to survive that and be able to still be able to beat him. Okay, so that did a bit of damage. That's taken me down to about 15% health, so kind of low, but at the same time I've got quite a bit of CC. I don't think I can use anything in the limited deck, nope, so instead I'm gonna get a bit more CC, then I can either do another big special attack or I can use one of the weaker moves. So I'll do that. Okay, knocked him down, punched, kick, got him. Right, now it is on for the next. On to the next turn. 17 is going to do something, so what can I do? I should probably put after image on anyway, just so I can block whatever he does, and he's going to throw the energy slash at me, so that's going to do a bit of damage. But I might be able to dodge it, and yep, I managed to dodge it thanks to the after image, so that was useful. So he's wasted his CC and I have not taken any damage. Okay, so let's have a look what I can do. A few weak things. Right, since I'm still charging, I'm going to use another 6-stage attack. And then I can start dishing out the actual damage there. So let's see how this does. If you fight against 17, I definitely recommend the championship belt. And for the other androids, you probably want to use Kibito and the avoiding cards. 17's almost defeated, so this is looking pretty good so far. I'm going to put another after image on it for 17's future attacks. And also Android 18 might do something as well, so having a bit of extra protection should be quite useful, I would say. Okay, so it's attack phase 10. Let's have a look at what I have in my card. Got a few things for CC. What I'm going to do is use the energy wave, then use the capsule fridge on the next turn. So I'm using this. Oh no, Android 17 has avoided it yet again. But he's only got one more avoiding card in his deck, I think. Or he could have used the last one. But anyway, he shouldn't be using that anytime soon. So I'm going to use this CC fridge to get some more CC, and then I'll be able to save up enough to attack with something bigger next time. Okay, so we're both down to quite low health. There's still a good chance for me to win here if I get lucky. And what have I got? Ah, stop device, great, I'll use that on Android 18. But first I need to finish off Android 17, so here I go. Ah, 17 tried to use barrier on me, but this isn't a beam attack, so it doesn't work. So I've managed to punch him, and I've reduced his health to 0, so he's dead. So now it's on to Android 18. Okay, now this seems quite dangerous because she's got a full health bar and I'm almost dead. But if I get lucky, I should be able to get enough CC in a bit to use the stop device. I'm pretty reliant on the stop device working, so fingers crossed it'll actually defeat Android 18 and that'll be the quick end to this battle. I can't afford it yet, so I'm going to use the 3-stage attack to get a little bit more CC. I suppose I could have done something else here anyway, because I would have got 3 CC from doing anything, because every time it goes to a new turn you get 3 CC to start with, but anyway, at least get to do something and practice my stage attack skills. so that's not bad. Okay, so I'm guarding, and hopefully she's not doing anything. Yes, she is just using a stage attack, so she's obviously trying to save up CC, but there's no point because I'm going to defeat her in one go, hopefully. Okay, so I've been knocked into the air, and I'm almost dead. In fact, another stage attack would probably kill me, so hopefully that's not going to happen. Alright, stop device. So I'm using this device, so hopefully it should take her out. Yes, it's worked, it's hit, and you can see the health bar going down to 0, and I win. Trunks is victorious. Okay, that was great. Let's have a look at the cards. Supreme Kai and Super Evil. Might as well get that one. Is it over? No, it isn't. The head honcho is still here. Cell. So Trunks is after Cell now, but obviously Cell doesn't appear for 3 years. EX Story 2. For future peace, Trunks' last fight. Okay, so the time machine's energy is filled up, and Cell is about to try and use the time machine, but Trunks knows he's there. So Trunks asks Cell to show himself before he can be complete. Anyway, Cell is quite cocky and he assumes that he's gonna win, but then Trunks said that he's already faced his perfect form and he can defeat him when he's imperfect. Cell's talking about the spy robots and the fact that Trunks isn't strong enough to beat him, but Trunks says he's defeated Android 17 and 18. So that means Cell will never become perfect. Not in this timeline. Anyway, Trunks asks him to go somewhere else. So then the battle is going to be in a different place. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you on the next episode. Take care, everyone.